Hello, welcome to the Carlton Blue Podcast Live. It's 2 minutes past 7 on Thursday, 5th of February, as we begin our build-up to Bournemouth, a 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, which we'll get to shortly. John, we share a document for this show where I've put the fan mailbag comments in, and just before we started, I could see you capitalising some letters for changing inspiration. Are you a stickler for that as a journalist? I suppose you should be.
Yeah, I have OCD when it comes to documents and like Google spreadsheets and whatnot. I'm always, we have obviously different work ones, and I'm always the one sort of like highlighting things or taking things out. I'm like, oh, why is that a different font? Well, I can tell that that's in 10 and that one's 11 font. So.
Well, I've got it open on a separate tab on the right hand side, and all the red squiggles started to disappear.
Yeah, OCD with it.
Yeah, I've copied it straight from the mailbag, so blame those for not capitalising Villa. A bit of a bugbear actually. That you should capitalise football clubs. Anyway, we're here today. Over the last few weeks, we tended to do a Q&A on a Thursday and then the Fan Zone preview show on the Friday as we look ahead to a Sunday game. But we did an episode yesterday that spoke about the Leeds tickets, Harvey Elliott again, the race for the Champions League, which some of that came from the mailbag. So we've kind of already done 2 Q&As this week. So if you missed any of those, by the way, go back and catch up with them. So today's is all about Bournemouth from the mailbag. There might be some live chat stuff that we get through as well that is for other different things. But I've got 8 or 9 comments over here that are all about the weekend's game, pretty much, which is a rarity. So we're going to stay focused on the weekend's game, Bournemouth away. I was going to ask you how you feel about it, but I think that's one of the questions. So do you want to pick me a topic? I don't think the topic names are great for me this week, but I've done my best last minute.
I don't know what this one's going to be about, but I'll go with Saturday 3 p.m.
Oh, Saturday 3 p.m. Well, what could that be about? With Saturday's game against Bournemouth ending Villa's, apparently, 30 consecutive televised matches. Unbelievable, really, says Gary in Yeovil.
Oh, really? Wow.
Is John looking forward to a Saturday 3 o'clock?
I am actually, yeah. It feels, I obviously go to all the games. I'm privileged to do that. So I think it may feel different for fans who, I don't know, watch away games from home or used to do that. Yeah, I think that will be odd. But at the same
30
time,
in a row on TVs, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to look back to last season and think, is that right? But I trust Gary from Yeovil, so let's go with that.
I mean, to be fair, we spoke yesterday about the Leeds game being a higher demand fixture at home because it's 3 o'clock kickoff, and that's a rarity. So, I mean, there is another comment about TV, so let's do that at the same time. TV impact, I call this one. It's a really low bar today. According to my research, Saturday will be Villa's first game since Everton away on the 13th of September that isn't broadcast live on TV. So presumably there's been 30 games. 30 games since September. Surely that's not right. Anyway, that isn't broadcast live on TV. How much impact do you think that has on the players? I think things like that do have an impact. And I've heard players talk before about this kind of thing. All in all, it seems insane that 21 out of 24 games have been either Sky or BT, even if you exclude games being moved due to Europa League. Now, obviously, every game is live on Sky on Sunday, I think, this season. So playing on Sunday, you're obviously going to be on TV kind of by default now. But obviously, there's the European games will be televised as well. And as we said, no 3 o'clock game for however long. How much impact do you think that has on the players? Do you think they're thinking,
no, I don't,
this is on TV, so I'm going to score a worldie today?
No, I don't. Not. We played terrible on Saturday, so I think it will have an impact to a point if it's a Monday night game or a Friday night football match, and because that's everyone is watching that, or if it's maybe the big game on the Saturday. But our players have played in those games quite a lot recently. Obviously, we're good, and as Gary from Yeovil points out, this is 30 games in a row was it that we're on TV. So I don't think this will have much impact at all. No, but I think it would work the other way. If we weren't very good and we were suddenly on live and it's Man United at home or something, I think that's when it would be a bit different. But
do you think? I don't think it'll have any impact whatsoever.
No, I think it will. In your head when you're warming up, you're thinking everyone's watching this. Like we're the live game. Like everyone.
There's TV cameras around anyway for match of the day and.
No, true. That's different. That's for example, if I don't know, how many times have you watched? Can't think of a team now. A team who's down there. So let's say, how many times have you watched West Ham this season? I don't know. Just an example.
Not very often.
No. So maybe the one time that you do, those players are aware that not Dan Rollinson's watching me, but just in general.
Podcast is watching. Better bad game today.
Millions of people are watching me here. Whereas if they play only at home, it's not going to be that many at all. So I think it will have a bit of an impact.
Yeah, potentially. Hello to everybody in the live chat. This is live. I am seeing people pop in and say hello. So thanks for joining us on Thursday night. Pick us another comment, John. There's a few to get through.
Sure.
Pick these in any order, by the way. They're all about Bournemouth.
Okay. Confidence meter.
Confidence meter. This is from Peter Banks' hairline. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you going into the Bournemouth game? On one hand, the mood will definitely be knocked by recent home games. On the other hand, we've consistently bounced back throughout the last 3 years. Back-to-back home defeats does sour it a little bit, but after Everton beat Fenerbahce and Newcastle away from home, which are 2 massive results, so we absolutely bounced back from the Everton defeat. Not a home game, which I felt like we should have, but that wasn't the start of a bad run. Those 2 games between Brentford were very good, right? Brentford again is a setback, but if you go and win the next 2 or 3, like that will also be in the rearview mirror of like, it was bad on the day, but we again bounced back.
Yeah.
To do that, right? Like we can't have another game where we feel like we've been nowhere near the level and we lose at the weekend, for example. I mean, again, we have that points gap, but if we were to go on another defeat, that would definitely start to worry a few more people.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think this is a really important game.
Before the others won as well, by the way. If everyone else loses, fine.
Yeah. And actually kind of weaving our way back into the last couple of questions about it being on a Saturday, I think the fact that a lot of teams are obviously playing at the same time, as soon as that game finishes, you look at the table and a lot can change. We know what. I'm not going to go over everything we went over in the last few episodes, but we know the sort of buffer that we have that can quickly vanish, literally in the space of 90 minutes. So I'd say vanish, but it will be weaker, wouldn't it? Our position in the top 5. So yeah, it's a really important game. There will be repercussions for it as well. I feel the home matches against Brighton and Leeds I've pinpointed as both must wins. But equally, I don't view Bournemouth as a sort of a free hit or anything. I think you've got to be going into these games and looking to win them because we know how important the next month or so is for our our overall campaign. You want to get these wins as quickly as you possibly can. And Bournemouth are quite strong at home. I was quickly looking at some stats before we jumped on, Dan. We've never completed the league double over Bournemouth, which shocked me.
Really?
I presumed that we had, but no, we haven't.
We've unbeaten, aren't we, in the last 4 or 5 fixtures, is it? But there's draws then in every season.
Yeah. So that's interesting. But we've lost 3 over the last 6 league games, as many as we had on our last 18 of the season. So yeah, I do feel it's a little bit of I wouldn't say we're on a tipping point or anything, but as a fan base, I do think we are. Okay, we've lost twice at home to Everton and Brentford, then we go to Newcastle and win. In the middle of that, Bournemouth just feel like goes one or two ways, and I really hope it's not I'm driving home from Bournemouth and listening to you, and I don't know, hopefully Kendrick, maybe someone else. I'm sure there'll be a brilliant guest, whoever they are, and then you're talking about what if Liverpool win tomorrow and they go this amount of points behind us. I hope it's just we are now 10 points clear and we're happy days, but we'll see.
Yeah, there's a comment from Nick Gilbert in the live chat who says, still 100% on for top 5, Dan? Yes. The way I've said yes there tells you there's some doubt, right? Do I think Villa will finish in the top 5? Yes. Can I be as bold as 100%? Yeah, absolutely no chance. Obviously not, because we've lost 2 games that I thought we'd won, but we're still on course. Nick just says 95. Yeah, I still think yes. So if yes is 100%, fine. But I'd put a solid percentage on it. If you said, "Oh, you're going to be there now," will Villa be in the Champions League next season? I would still say yeah. Maybe it's we win the Europa League.
I was going to say,
either way, we've got 2 stabs at it. I think we'll do it. Can I be as bold? 100%, not worried at all. Obviously not. But win on the weekend and Liverpool lose. Yeah.
I'm in the same position I was a few weeks ago when I said, what was mine? It was 80 or something along those lines. And I'm happy with that as well. We went through if you haven't seen it, we went through the sort of not permutations as such, but what Villa need to do to get to 67, 70 points, which then what else would the chasing pack, what would they have to do to cover us? And
I sometimes think it's interesting the Opta supercomputer stuff is a bit of a nonsense.
That's my pet hate in football percentages.
Because they all say like we're like 96, 97.
Literally will change. It will change based on what happens on a football pitch. It's to me completely pointless, and that's probably Rich going from there's 14 game cycles, but percentages I think is a load of rubbish. Like genuinely, like just stupid.
It's
with respect to people who do them, I just think I don't take anything from it.
No, it fluctuates too much. But I think if you asked clubs, fans of the other 19 clubs, who's going to get into the Champions League, I think a big percentage of neutrals would put Villa in there because they wouldn't have the same kind of worries that you do about your own club. So
yeah, true.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Give us another one, please.
Sure. Sorry, I always forgetting to click in and out of these docs. Onana verdict.
Onana verdict from Sasa Serchic's nose surgeon. Okay. What are your thoughts on Onana? Didn't play against Brentford when ideally we needed him. We're told it was due to being tired when 1, he's only just come back from injury, which would probably explain why he's tired. 2, we need him due to an injury crisis in midfield. 3, the same week he's quoted saying he'll move to a world-class club at some point. And 4, whilst we don't know the full details, it seems pretty poor from him, especially he's having a good season. I think there's a few elements of Sasa Serchic's nose surgeon that is correct there. Did we need him? Yeah, I think so. Whilst we don't know the full details, so hard to judge. Yeah, also accurate and fair. The bit about the quote of like, one day I'll play for a big club or whatever. Do you care about
that? Well, he said, what did he say? I think it was I haven't got this specific word in front of me. But we don't need to have the specific word. We know what he means. He means a team who is constantly challenging for the biggest.
Insert Real Madrid, right?
Real Madrid. Yeah, literally the top City, Arsenal. They'll always be around there. We know why.
I've always feel a little bit like I get the frustration is like he's doing down Villa basically, but it's the Steven Gerrard to Liverpool argument, right? If Onana has to get a move, I say has to. If Onana earns a move to Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, he's been very good for Villa. First phase of that would be stay fit for more than a couple of weeks at a time. Yeah. A big club's not going to buy someone who's going to get injured every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think whenever players make those comments, no one likes it. No one can say, "Oh yeah, I'm glad he said that. It shows ambition." You don't have to say that to show ambition.
Yeah.
So no, I don't like it, and I don't think anyone likes it. But equally, I'm not going to get in a fit about it, and I'm not going to say, "What is he?" We know what he means. Aston Villa, we know. For us, maybe it would be, but for other players who are, born in Belgium or whatever, or they're not Aston Villa fans. No, Aston Villa is not the final destination for some players, for the players who can go on to win, Champions Leagues or whatever, and consistently play in those competitions without Villa just having, some years in there because of Emery, and then we're trying to build towards it. But, we can't kid ourselves. There's different reasons why we can't guarantee that, whereas other clubs might be able to. A footballer's career is a very short career as well. So I've got nothing really to say about it, apart from it's always, for me, disappointing when I hear a player say that. But equally, I know what he's trying to say. And I don't think when players say that they intentionally mean to hurt Villa. I think unintentionally they do, though, because no Villa fan will like that. But at the same time, I'm not going to be, crying about it because I understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah. A couple of live chat comments. Zinc says, Dan, ask John if this is a must win. Or save that for now because we'll do our predictions and stuff later. A must win or not is part of that. And Up the Villa 23 says, I sent a comment to the mailbag, but it never got read out. Sad face. Firstly, I've deleted a lot of them that are out of date, but I've just checked and there's 665 comments in the mailbag since the start of February, which is, start of January. Start of February.
How many? 665?
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
This is like no offense. Like if you don't get yours read out, it's not like, oh, your question was crap. Do better, mate. I'll just pick a random selection that I think are worth talking about. If you know, let me know what it is.
You group them together, really, don't you? I suppose.
Yeah, maybe I'll read it out. But if it is crap, then bad luck. I'm kidding. Right, I'm going to pick something from the mailbag next and go with Barkley back from Glenn Whelan's penalty. With Barkley back in the squad and the obvious injury crisis in midfield, does he have a good chance of starting alongside either Onana or Luiz against Bournemouth? If I'm not mistaken, it would be his first league start since the 4th of January 2025. Is that true? First start since last January.
It was that Palace? No. I don't know. Can't remember.
Anyway. That's quite some stat, isn't it? This gives us a little bit of an opportunity to talk about team news. There might be some other bits in there, but let's focus on midfield for now. Luiz, I thought, played well against Brentford despite the defeat. And I think there was something in the mailbag about him, actually. I don't know if I've picked that one or not. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I think Luiz probably plays again.
Yeah.
And Nana surely a week's rest, right? If he's just muscle tiredness last week, if he doesn't play again this week, I'd be worried. Surely Onana, Luiz.
Yeah, Onana, from memory, played very well against Bournemouth last season as well. That was one of his better performances in his first season for us. I thought he was outstanding. And he had a new haircut as well in that game, I remember. Where am I going with that? Yeah, Onana and Luiz would be my expected two, or Luiz and Bogard. Sorry, I don't think Barkley would be starting. Of course, he's just come back from an injury himself.
So we'll be on the bench and hopefully come off if we need.
But he can definitely play a part in the second half of the season. I must say, I think whenever Barkley comes on, more often than not, I've been impressed. There's definitely a player in there. It's just fitness and other things. I think he's probably quite frustrated about how his time at Villa has gone. In the main, I remember when he first joined, he obviously had a big conversation with Unai, and Unai, promised to get the best out of him. And I think there's been, truth in that. Barkley wanted to return to the England team and really have some lofty ambitions. He hasn't quite managed to do those things, but again, if he can play his part in Europe and help Villa get over the line in the Champions League, then it's still going to be a successful spell at Villa if we can do those things. He just needs to stay fit and knuckle down, concentrate on football, and it'll be okay. So yeah, got his part to play, but for me, not this weekend against Bournemouth. Bournemouth are without a number of players. I mean, as of course we know Villa are as well, but possibly without Brooks. They're without Cliver, and I knew I'd forget the other player. Another winger who's not a bad player either, but their first 11 is a strong one, and we know the way they play as well. It's pressing, it's aggressive, but Villa have matched them pretty well. Again, hopefully this weekend that continues.
Yeah. Callan in the comments says, I don't think Dan reads out any of the mailbag. I think he makes up these names. I wish. Some of them are absolutely bizarre. I can screen share the mailbag if you want to see it, but I'd rather not. It's hassle. I did pick one, so we won't answer it because we just have. But from the big lad, and that's what they sent in, didn't make it up. The result on Sunday overshadowed the performance of Luiz. I thought for first game back, he was superb. Really looking forward to seeing him with Onana. Who do you think will play in midfield if fit? Just answered it, but yeah, Luiz I thought was a bright-ish spark in a fairly drab.
Yeah, I think Luiz made the most chances in the game. He played well. I don't think he's as good as Tielemans, but that's a really high bar for us. Yeah, I was encouraged that, considering that was his first game back for us. And let's be real, in the last year or so, year and a half even, he's really struggled to put together any sort of form. So I think
Forest
for him,
fans must have been thinking, where was that performance for us?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and obviously Juventus as well. So for him and his confidence, I think that will do him the world of good. And if he can continue it against Bournemouth, and he put out a message after the game saying he was gutted to return but lose. So if Villa can get on a bit of a run with him in that midfield, I think we can definitely see the Luiz of old. I was really enthused by what I saw. It's not going to be perfect straight away, but it wasn't a perfect performance, but it was certainly closer to that than a poor one, So yeah, more than happy by what we saw. And again, he's playing next to Bogard, who is definitely come of age in this team, but at the same time has more experiences to learn. And as well, for Bogard, he's playing alongside a player who hasn't played very often in the last 18 months, and also has only just returned to the club. So yeah, kind of for both of them, I think they need a more stable, experienced partner. Luiz will be that down the line again, but I think Onana coming in this weekend would be a real boost for us if he can come back and start. Yeah.
Let's do some Europa League chat quickly from the live chat. Steve, how much money have we accumulated so far in the Europa League? And Kevin, who do we want in the next stage? Red Star, Celta Vigo, PAOK or Lille? We spoke about this a little bit after which was the last game? Salzburg. I said, surely not Lille. We have beat them. But when you play somebody a couple of times, for the excitement of just being someone different, I'd rather it was someone different.
Yeah.
Celta Vigo feels like the one I would want to pick, I think.
Based on
I don't know,
just
really.
sort of,
Vibes.
You don't, like away in Belgrade may be a tricky one. So I'm just trying to get to Steve's
Spanish
question.
football for
I have a rough estimate of from what Steve asked. I think it's around 10 to 11 million pounds so far, I believe, that we've earned from prize money. But I know overall it's around, if you win, around 20, 25 million pounds, something like that.
I thought it was more than that.
No, I don't. From prize money, I don't think it is much more than that. I think it is.
To be fair, I was only going to say 30ish, and that might have been euros, which would be
probably. Yeah. 24, 25 million pounds, I think, is what Spurs won last season for winning the competition. So it's helpful. But what I would say is, of course, if you win it, forget the 25 million, you bank all your Champions League money, don't you? So it's
it's a bit like the bar final, isn't it? You get the like the money from doing the good thing, winning the thing, but you also guarantee the money from the next good thing as well.
Yeah, precisely. So
finishing top 4 gets you 70 million. Qualified for the Champions League via winning the Europa League gets you 70 plus the prize money from the Europa League.
Yeah, so the Europa League prize money pays for so far, like Alisson or something. So it's a drop in the ocean. Villa, I think it was over £1 million or around £1 million for one win in the league phase of the Champions League. So. Yeah, the entry fees for that are so much more than Europa League. It's just a commercial beast. It's completely different to the Europa League, but still, 25 million is still handy. But the trophy for me is what is worth.
Priceless, John.
Exactly that. Yeah. It's worth. Yeah, I was about to say it's worthless. It's priceless. Yeah.
I'm going to pick another one. Expecting 3 points, says River Costello, which is a fantastic name. I see River in the comments all the time, so thanks for joining. Villa have not lost home or away to Bournemouth since 2022, where we lost 2-0. Given this fact, even though Bournemouth's form has been better than ours, can you get out of the document, John? You put your little red.
Sorry, that was a question. That was a question of reading. My bad.
Given this fact, even though Bournemouth's form has been better than ours, should this be a game we expect 3 points from and not settle for a draw, even though it's away from home? Plus, if we don't put pace down the wing against Adam Smith, I'm not going to be happy. Lol. Keep up the good work. Thank you, River. Talk to me about Bournemouth a little bit generally. Are you worried about this fixture? Is this a team that could be dangerous for us? Or is this a team that, if they also want to play at home, I think that suits Villa much more so than what we've seen against the likes of Brentford?
I am concerned about it because Bournemouth about it. Yeah, they tend to play well against the teams who are above them, essentially. So in the last 3 they've played, ignore Spurs here, but decent side. Are they? I don't know, actually. No. Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal are the teams they've played in the last 3, and they've scored 8 goals. So 3 against Liverpool. I mean, they beat Liverpool, of course. 3 against Spurs, and then twice against Arsenal as well. So if we go there and win 1-0 like last season, it'd be a superb result. And then a nice stat. Well, not a nice stat, but a good stat anyway to hear. Just quickly, I knew I'd miss it. Here we go. Bournemouth have won 5 of the last 7 league games against teams starting the top 3.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're in the top 3. So 5 of the last 7. That's a really good record.
Yeah.
So
does that have any relevance to the game though? Does it matter? Just because they've done it before, does it matter?
I think so. I think it does. Yeah, because it shows the match as well. They match well, against teams who are going to play in a certain way and try and take the game to them. We're not going to Bournemouth to try and nick a draw, are we? Like a Burnley would, and Burnley drew there. Yeah, Burnley drew there before Arsenal won their 3-2. So we know they match well against some teams above them. We're probably one of the teams who they tend to come unstuck against. But at the same time, they will cause us problems, even though, as I say, they've got a few players out at the moment with injury. And of course, they lost Semenyo too. If this was a few weeks ago and Semenyo was injured, we'd be saying, this is a massive opportunity to beat Bournemouth. But, Krupi's playing well. They do have dangers elsewhere. Evan Nilsson, I think, is a good player. He does a lot off the ball rather than just score goals. So, it will be a difficult game. But we've seen previously that Villa can compete well against them.
Yeah, okay. There's a couple left, John. You pick one and I'll pick the other.
Sure. Scouting query.
Okay. From Dave, with the success that Brighton, Brentford and Bournemouth have had in recruiting players to sell at a big profit, should we be looking to poach their scouts, especially as we've ditched just about every signing made under Unai Emery? Fair. I mean, this isn't Bournemouth specific, obviously, but Bournemouth a reference for being a club that people look at as recruit well, sell well, with the likes of Brighton and Brentford as well. Is it a simple case, John, as just going to nick their staff? Does it work like that?
No, nothing's easy in football, Dan. But I would say that I think the players that Brighton and Bournemouth sign, in the main, I absolutely understand the question, but I would add that there's a different level of pressure at Villa.
But are we not trying to do what those clubs have done in the past anyway? Like the likes of Allison, Maggio, players that aren't like...
partial. I mean, like Nedeljkovic hasn't worked.
None of them have worked. The likes of Brentford and Brentford have signed players that do flip for big money.
Yeah.
But we're not like going for Raheem Sterling as like, oh, we only know players that have played in the Premier League for a few years. Like, we have gone for players who are unknowns for very cheap with the hope that they'll be good, and they just haven't been.
Yeah, so, I think expectation's a big part of this. You signed for Bournemouth knowing, with respect, it is a development sounds too one way. But
you're just going to say stepping stone.
Oh well, yeah. Well, no, they are stepping stone, and that's fine because being in the Premier League and being a stepping stone is what a lot of clubs beneath them in the ladder would love to be. So, no, I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I just think the expectation and different things, you need to have a different sort of mentality possibly playing for Villa, and I think that's a large part of it too. For example, Sancho, is he a better player than Krupi? Probably not. I know they're different players, but at the same time, it's having experience to go into a dressing room and not feel like you've got to settle for a certain thing. I don't know. I just think it's different, to be honest. I don't think we can use that model and expect to achieve results like we are. As I said before, we're trying to win now, aren't we? And there's no guarantee that had we signed XYZ player, they would be performing like we are. Because ultimately, Bournemouth are bottom half of the table, I think. Are they 12th? Something around there.
Not actually checked. About right, it sounds, yeah.
And Villa are third, and that isn't anything against Andoni Iraola. He's a great manager, and I don't want to go too far here, but I think if they were to lose Iraola, Bournemouth, and I think it's looking like that, they may be in a spot of bother next season. They'll back themselves to recruit well again, but I think that could be tricky because they've always got to sell Bournemouth. Their revenues are obviously so low because of the size of the stadium and different things, commercial pull. So, to answer the question, no, I don't think we can recruit like them as a whole. I think you can do it certain places like Maggio and Allison are. That is more of a Bournemouth Brighton sort of signing. The one thing I would say is that maybe it's going the other way, whereas Ryan, the winger that Bournemouth have signed, he looks like a good player and is definitely ahead of Allison in his development, and obviously came through the same league. Cheaper player, Allison, but at the same time, that's an interesting one. Why would Villa not just go for him? I said they're cheaper, but at the same time, if he's ready to play, maybe we should have pushed out a little bit more to go and get him. But again, Villa will back themselves to make the right decision there.
Okay. Before the last question, which I'm going to use to lead into a prediction, let's try and do a predicted 11. We spoke about midfield before. Onana, Luiz feels the most likely. What does the rest of the team around them look like, do you think?
I think it'll be the same back five, goalkeeper included, Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Torres and Maatsen.
Yeah.
The double pivot we've just said there, and Rodgers. I think Sancho will still start. Buendia, and if fit to play from the start, then Watkins as well. I think that's what I would go with.
Yeah, Ollie became the Premier League leading top scorer, didn't he, at Bournemouth last time, so scored there before. Obviously we're doing this show earlier than the presser, which is kind of the point, to get the preview show out before, so people have got more time to consume it, but it means we can't talk too much about things like this because we could do our 5-minute segment about Ollie Watkins starting, and Emery says tomorrow that he's still unfit, or he starts training on Friday afternoon or whatever, so we'll see what happens. So
well, my mate Sam saw him in Birmingham, and Ollie says he's fine. Right. So there's
really?
We've got to be like, I'm not. Sam's a credible source, but I don't know if Ollie's lying. We obviously, Emery said before, it's not a big thing and it's not a serious thing. So I'll take Sam's word. I'll take Ollie's word for it via Sam.
While we're talking of other people, do you want to give a shout out to the guy who gave you a pen?
Of course. Yeah. How did we forget this? 2 seconds.
So let me tee this up for why this is even a thing, first of all, for those that weren't sure. After we played Newcastle on the post-match show, Eddie Howe was pictured during the game, scribbling some notes down, and he had one of those pens with the slidey colours on the top. and I just said like something. I don't know what it is. It's pure nonsense. Something incredibly tin pot about a Premier League manager sitting there drawing in different colours. I don't know why. It feels very high school to me. And off the back of that,
high school. Oh, can you see that?
Just about.
I mean, it's an odd image. This is from my brother. So that shout out to Matt Bevan, who I believe sits in front of George and my dad. That's my dog in the background, Ozzy. Yeah. And there you go. There's the Bic pen.
So somebody who listens to the podcast
gifted me a Bic pen.
Is that for me?
Matt Bevan.
For you?
No, that's for me.
So you weren't even on that episode. No, you were.
We must have had a chat about it. We must have had a chat about it.
Yeah. You said, "Oh, I actually like those pens."
Yes, so it's good with memory. So yeah, thanks to Matt. A handy Eddie Howe pen just for you, John, up the Villa.
Are you going to use it? Have you got it yet?
Of course. Oh, it's still got it. I need to go round. When am I next going to go round? I don't know, but I'll be using it. Don't worry. Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Final then comment from the mailbag. I haven't got a title for this one, but it's from Rudy Gusted. I think this is the easiest question we've probably ever been sent, but maybe I'm wrong. What result would you rather have? A 2015 style 1-0 win that isn't pretty but gets the job done? Or, this is obviously against Bournemouth, or a 2019 2-1 defeat where we actually play really well but lose in a close game. Maybe someone scores a banger like Luiz did. What?
Yeah, take this.
Take the win, no?
No, take the banger. That's what I was still getting this in the Champions League. Jesus Christ. Who asked that question? Rudy Gusted.
Rudy Gusted. A fool, of course.
Yeah, I think he works at Blackburn now, Gusted, or maybe he's left there now.
Yeah, he was at one stage, yeah.
Yeah, well,
a director or something.
They're not doing very well, but it's probably not his fault either. Anyway, no, definitely take the win.
Any win.
I couldn't care less what goal we scored. Do you remember that goal that Carles Hill scored when Adama
Oh, it's Bournemouth as well. Yeah.
No, it's Sunderland away. Oh, you're thinking of a different one, I think.
I think of a different one.
Yeah, that one, Adama's crossed it. We lost 3-1.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Anyway.
He scored that was in the FA Cup, I think.
And that one. Yeah, that was, yeah. They were good goals, to be fair, so maybe we should take the second one. We're right now.
Remember the memories, right? I don't care how we win. I would take us winning every single game via an own goal. It doesn't matter that we're not very good in scoring the goals ourselves. If we're not winning games, it's pick the win no matter what.
Just on this quickly, not really for that, but Arsenal, right? What are your sort of feelings on? I don't know. I'm seeing it's kind of based off an article that I saw in the Telegraph. Did you see this? An Arsenal writer wrote basically saying like we've got the most we've got a terrible fan base basically.
I saw the headline and the tweet, but I didn't read it.
Yeah. Fair play. But it's more of like I don't know how to explain this, but everyone's we also we would love to win the league. I don't care how we play, and it's true. But then I do think some Arsenal fans are a little bit like too precious about our football's fine. What are you talking about? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's okay. You can say you don't play good football and you do have set pieces. Like, that's fine. Like, as long as you sort of own up to it. Like, I don't care if we beat Bournemouth terribly playing football. I'm not bothered. But I would also call it out and say we didn't play particularly well. Yeah, we're scoring loads of set pieces, but it's okay. That's how you win football. I just feel some Arsenal fans are trying to be a bit too.
But too defensive of their own.
Yeah, to the point where they're ignoring the facts, which is I don't find it entertaining. I don't know that isn't the point. I don't really find Man City entertaining under Pep either. But I think even their fans will probably call out like, yeah, it's a bit dull sometimes, but we're just a great team. Arsenal are a great team. They're playing a different way, but I just feel sometimes it's like you can admit it, guys. Like I'm not coming after you as like you don't deserve it. If you win a game, you win a game. You deserve to win a game.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. We said after the Brentford game of us, like, this is not like slagging Brentford off because they play a horrible way. They won the game.
That's
like,
it, yeah.
Fair and square to a degree, I suppose.
Yeah, I would almost
get into it again.
I would almost rather own it and be like, yeah, you know what? We don't play great football, or it's not particularly entertaining. But instead, they'll be saying
we're going to win the league.
Yeah, like, Arteta was saying, we scored the most goals. We've conceded the least, and it's like, well, yeah, because you're a good team.
I've said a few times.
You know.
I said a few times about Arsenal that the weirdness that comes from their fan base, and it's a safe space here. There'll be no Arsenal fans watching the end of a Bournemouth briefing.
No, I don't know.
I do, yeah, maybe. If there are any Arsenal fans listening to this, please let yourself know. But
they will.
The kind of weirdness that their fan base projects comes from the manager. They're ultra defensive, you know. I don't know, just the way that he acts is how the fan base acts.
Yeah. But I'm only sorry, go on.
I think Arsenal and Spurs are probably the two worse fan bases, to be honest. I don't know whether there's something in the water down there, but weirdos everywhere.
Ooh.
Yeah, like if you, in a nice way, but
in a nice way, you're a weirdo.
If you're going to win the league, you're the best club, because you won it. I don't think it's the best football either, and they won't be one of like the great champions that we've seen in English football over the years. If they win the treble, fantastic achievement, but you did it in a different way, and that's fine. That's a valid way to win matches.
Own it. It's fine.
It's not pretty exciting football, is it?
Yeah, I didn't want to break this last week, but it was more just the thing of when we say, "Oh, if we have to win ugly," I really don't care. Like as long as you own it. Like if we come on a post-match show and we're actually saying we're giving all the stats of actually this is why we're like really good to watch, and you kind of force people to think a different way. It's no, like I don't enjoy it, but we won, so that's all that matters. Like that's fine.
Yeah, I completely agree. A nice little tangent to end on. Let us know, people, what you think about different things, whether it be Villa related or Arsenal related. Get involved.
Maybe that was quite a broad spectrum. Let us know what you think about different. It's like Alan Partridge is what was it? Panel beating was was a too narrow of subjects. What is the best thing? The sound of a newborn.
You want to do it?
Or outro? Are we done?
Yeah, I'm done. That was the last one.
We
haven't done a score prediction. All right. I don't know. I want to just blindly say I think we'll win, but that's not really based off a fat lot. Come on, I'll stick with it. I think we'll win 3-2.
Do you?
It won't be a tight 1-0 like you said. I'll absolutely take it, and I'll take it coming off of, I don't know, Croupie's arse or whatever. But if he scores an own goal, what is he doing in that position? But you know,
Croupie don't score with his arse. Croupie scores bangers, to be fair.
Would you rather score a Croupie banger? Would win the game?
Yeah. I'll ask Iriola ball the game. No, wait. I'm gonna say 2-2. I think it'll be
2-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wouldn't be the end of the world if we drew.
I think if we'd have beaten Brentford, I'd have taken a point.
You know what?
Point out of 2 games isn't great.
Whatever happens against Bournemouth, I just do think Brighton and Leeds are must. I'll say it, they are. Those games are must wins, both of them. Whatever. So
you want minimum 7 points from the next 3, however which way it comes.
That's it. Yeah.
If we did win tomorrow, but then drop points in one of the home games, that would absolutely still be a missed opportunity. But if you finish those 3 with 7, you'd go okay.
If you beat, I guess I still think even if we were to beat Bournemouth and not beat Brighton and we get 7 points, I would say okay, but you got to beat. You got to win your home games now. Now to me this is the business part of our season because we know we've got an opportunity to do it. So 7 points if if opponent comes away from home. But if you win against Bournemouth, back it up and get it to 9. Yeah. I just think you got to win those 2 home games.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Comments 2-1 Villa says Master P. 2-0 says David. 2-1, 1-2, 1-3. All Villa wins, which is great to see. I hope everybody's right. We'll be back on, I was going to say tomorrow, but it's Saturday with the post-match show. I still don't know who that's with yet. I will endeavour to find out, but I'll be here 5 minutes after the full-time whistle with somebody to discuss hopefully a massive 3 points for Villa.
Do you remember when we lost 2-0 at Bournemouth on the opening day and we had Ash in the car park?
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad, but it was good memories in a weird way. Yeah. I was doing the show back then. I
think we had
turns up with his camera light.
Did we have a clip for it on the 1000th special?
I think
we spoke about it.
I think we must have, but it was I knew from that game.
I remember that game. I remember because I was at my mum and dad's house because it was my mum's birthday. We're having a bit of a gathering at their house. So I didn't want to do the show anyway. Ash was supposed to be doing it, but his Wi-Fi was so bad that I asked you to do it and you jumped in and we still used the same platform. And I remember seeing Ash pop up at the bottom of the screen.
That was
trying to set up his camera, balance on his bonnet. So Ash is here, but I was just give him a minute to sort himself out. And he just comes in and he's just stood there like that. Terrible.
I think we knew. I don't know about from that game. It was like this ain't right.
We're in trouble here.
Yeah, this wasn't good. So yeah.
Okay, what a bizarre show. But thanks, John, for that, and thanks everyone for tuning in live on Thursday night. If you're watching on catch up, you can get involved in the respective comment sections on YouTube or
Spotify. Quickly make it clear, I don't need any more pens. After Matt's just in case there's any
That's
more
specifically to
donations.
Matt or somebody else.
Everyone. I've got nothing. No, it's fine.
I'll take a pin. Not one of them sidey ones though. They're crap. I'm kidding. Right. Thanks everyone for tuning into this one. We'll be back on Saturday for the post-match show, so we'll see you then. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.